Okay, so in the last video we moved down to the latest offers section of the website, and in this video we're going to be completing the shop online section. Now the shop online section is a relatively straightforward section. We're going to use a similar level 2 heading and divider as we have done in the last two sections. We're going to add a button which is going to be a link to a shop here section. And there's also going to be a large background image added via the CSS. So over in the text editor, I'm going to start in the index page and create a new section. So I'm going to paste a comment just below the latest offers section. So this is called the shop online section. And this has a section tag with an ID of shop online. And then the usual bootstrap container and row. So div with a class of container. Then within the container we have the row. And we'll copy the heading and divider section from the last section. So we'll copy the 6-column section and paste that within our own row. So the level 2 heading is the shop online text. And the image we need to change to be the purple image because we're on a white background. So just below the divider, the A and href is going to be blank for now. The class is going to be the bootstrap button class, so btn default. And then the role is going to be equal to button. And then close the link off and add the shop here text. And let's take a look in the browser. Says our heading, divider and also the button default. Now we can easily make the button appear in the center of the page just by adding a bootstrap class. So to the container, just after the number of columns, we can add the bootstrap class of text center. That pushes the button into the middle of the div. And that's all the HTML we need to add for this section. We'll just close off some of the divs with comments. This one is the closing row and then the final container. Okay, so next we need to go into the custom CSS. We're going to add the styling for the button default and also add the large background image, just like the final website. So over to the custom CSS. So let's get started with the button. So because we're going to be using the button later on in the course, we're going to add it to the global section at the top. So I'm going to add it just underneath the image. So the class was btn default. And let's override the default bootstrap values with some of our own. So first of all, the background color of the button, well, that's be the blue color, which is 8393CA. And we'll add a border, a 3 pixels border, solid, and the color is going to be ECF0F1. And a 5 pixel border radius. And then some padding to make the button a little bit bigger. 15 pixels on the top and bottom, and 30 on the left and right. And the text color is going to be white. And let's take a look. So the button's looking good, we just need to add the hover state. So if we go back into the CSS, button default, and then hover. We can change the background color to be 97689C. So when we hover over the button, we've got the same purple colour as the background. So now let's go back and create a shop online section. So we'll copy the comments, and just above the mobile styling again, we'll call this the shop online section. So let's start with the background image. So the section had an ID of shop online. And we can change the background by adding background and then URL. And then in brackets, we can add the file path. So ... to go back to the home directory, /images. And then the images we want is product.jpg. And we want that to be in the center. And lastly, no repeat. So as it stands, the image is in place, but it's only taken up the same height as the content that's already in place. So we can change that by adding the minimum height. And we'll set the minimum height to be the same height of the image, which is 852 pixels. And then let's change the text color of the shop online heading. So the color is going to have the value of 494646. And then finally, just to separate the button from the divider, we'll add some margin to the top. So the shop online ID, and then the button default. Let's push the button down by adding some margin on the top of 25 pixels. And let's see how that looks in the browser. Okay, there we go. The button's now pushed down from the divider. So that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and if you join me in the next video, we'll finish off the Bootstrap homepage by adding the footer.